Hey everybody, welcome to Fractured Focus episode number 24, the show where we obsess about everything from geek culture to nerd news along with random topics for discussion. I'm one of your hosts, Ben Gordon, and coming in live from the great state of Nebraska, the original swine of Omaha himself, Mr. Matthew Swinehart. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Woohoo! Doing good.
Apart from the weather. I apologize if there's any flickers in our broadcast, but
you've been coming in relatively clear thus far, but as long as the hail doesn't pick back up and disturb the internet signal that you get there out there in the boonies, we should be just fine.
Yes, the interweb. This is actually the telecommunications capital of the world.
Is it in Omaha?
Yeah, and there's all the telecommunications companies are here in Omaha.
Well, I know that Omaha actually has the highest concentration, or I don't know if it's Omaha or Nebraska. I thought it was Omaha. Has the highest percentage or concentration of billionaires in the North American continent, believe it or not.
Of course we do.
And why would that be? That still boggles me.
A lot of rich farmers, man.
Billionaire farm, I guess. I mean, maybe I should.
Well, and then you got Warren Buffett.
He's in Omaha?
Slack, so. Yeah, he lives here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He has a house in Dundee.
You ever seen? Really? Have you ever driven by his house?
Yeah, it's not a mansion like you'd think.
So you have
like a Bill Gates compound.
Oh, dude, I would have stalked that guy huge.
If you live down in Dundee, I mean, he goes to the ice cream shop down there and stuff. People see him all the time. Mm-hmm. He's a normal kind of guy.
Yeah. No, that's what I've read about him a lot. So. That doesn't surprise me very much. Well, hey, we had a pretty cool week. We had a lot of cool stuff happen. Some stuff that actually probably wasn't positive towards society. But let's go ahead and jump into our topics. Topic number one. I'm probably a bigger Pirates fan than you guys are. I've been pumped for this movie, but then I think this is the second movie this has happened to. Pirates 5 has been held for ransom by hackers. Hackers have broken in and stolen the file and are threatening to release it unless they start getting incremental payment, or they're going to start releasing parts of the movie if they don't get paid. Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, is working with the FBI and had a meeting with all the employees, said that they're not going to be doing that. They're not going to give in and fight. Holy shit, man. You know what this makes me think of?
Thank God.
Do you ever see the movie Snowden?
I haven't seen the movie Snowden.
I love that movie. Regardless of how you feel about Snowden and what he was doing, there's a line in there where his boss is saying, you know, all this fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, all that kind of stuff doesn't really matter in the long term. 20, 40 years from now, it's going to be a shithole in the sand no one's going to care about. The real battlefield is going to be on the internet. It's going to be the cybersecurity warfare. Yeah. So all this other stuff is just temporary, as bad as it is. Here's a good example of that because, I mean, didn't this happen to another movie? Didn't another movie get...
No. Well, I don't know that it was hijacked, but the interview.
Yeah, there was that.
North Korea threatened to
right.
Sony,
that was a while ago, but I thought
Sony
recently,
folded.
Within the last couple months, that there was another movie that was released, and I can't remember what the hell it was. But you're right. I guess there was that too. There was the interview, and then didn't they also release the Expendables 3 hit the internet soon or something like that? Maybe that was just a normal bad rip. I don't remember.
It might have been pirated or something like that. I don't know.
But you know what's funny when I think about all this, and actually this kind of ties into that whole WannaCry outbreak. I've known a few people that have gotten hit by ransomware. I never have. Again, we're kind of probably more technologically proficient. We know, how to keep crap off your computer.
40 hours a day, I'm on the internet.
Yeah,
helping people.
Yeah. So we're probably stronger in that aspect than others, but I mean, literally, kind of with ransomware or even viruses for the most case, you literally have to accept and click on something you shouldn't click on to get it. It's not like it's just going to accidentally sneak onto your computer without you taking any action, unless you've got an old Windows XP computer from 10 years ago that has no system updates on it.
Yeah, or you're running an old version of Internet Explorer.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been at work before and clicked on one of those sponsored links from YouTube and saw the message come up.
Yeah. God, when's the last time you used Internet Explorer?
At work, we use it all the time.
Are you serious?
At home, it's Firefox. Yeah, it's
really?
Internet Explorer.
Nobody uses Chrome or anything? Oh, man, when it's a PC, I won't touch anything but Chrome, and then on the Mac, I use Chrome or Safari all the time. But yeah, I wouldn't touch Internet Explorer.
Chrome's so buggy though.
Is it? I don't know.
There are sites that just do not work with Chrome.
I've never found any.
I could probably give you a list of them.
I don't. Yeah, maybe it's just different.
I won't say
usage.
the primary one because I may work for them.
That makes sense too. But Jesus, this is kind of interesting because if you're the movie studio, what do you do in this situation? Because this could potentially. I'm wondering how much movie would they really lose if this leaked on the internet? How many people would not go to the theater to see this movie because they knew?
Huge.
Do you think so?
Oh, I think so. I mean, granted, it's going to be. Where's it going to be distributed? It's going to be distributed in the torrent community and the hacker community.
But how many people know how to do that? Honestly, what percentage of the population?
Yeah, you're probably right on there. There's probably between 6 and 10% that maybe know how to do that.
I even think that's high.
Or would take the time to do it.
Yeah,
that might be high. Yeah,
because I'm like trying to think about it. Again, people that are more technically proficient, we might be able to have ways of looking into something like that, but the vast majority of the population, even if they did, that are going to go to trouble of it or discourage them from going to see the movie because they happen to know that one friend out of 50 that happen to have it on their computer that might be, I don't know if I see that playing a huge role. I think it'll have some effect, of course.
Yeah. Well, what are movies now too?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's in a way though, when I go see a movie, it's an experience.
Right.
If I'm going to spend my money on seeing a movie, I want to see it in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'll wait for it to come home.
Right. Yeah.
And the movie industry knows that.
Right. Especially for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I would much rather see that in the theater. At least
Yeah,
I
you
would.
Probably would.
You know what I mean? I would. I know that you're not into those
Yeah,
as much.
I got washed out. Definitely third and fourth one
Mm-hmm.
washed me out. I mean, to this point, I know Fast and Furious did wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a movie I wanted to see past the third or fourth movie.
Nothing's going to beat the first Pirates movie. That was just so well done from beginning to end.
It was original. Yeah.
Oh, God. It was so great. None of them have been as good as that. But I just love Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow and this whole world that Disney does. And the music is so good. And Jerry Bruckheimer's, his production capabilities. I just like the way they are. Yeah, you're right. That's a good metaphor. Kind of like Fast and the Furious. They're not great films, but they're fun movies that I like. I'm glad this is the
last one.
Say what?
I'm glad this is the last one. I thought they sort of left it as a trilogy.
Because they are going to do 7
the third
or 8,
one
9,
probably
and 10.
being the weakest. No, apparently this is supposed to be the last.
I thought
Pirates of
they
the
had
Caribbean
8
movie.
set up for 8, 9, and 10. This is going to be the final trilogy. 8, 9, and 10 is what I read.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't include Johnny Depp then.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking about. I was
right.
talking about.
You're
the
right.
topic.
This was supposed to be the last one, but then I think Jerry Bruckheimer even said, well, who knows? If the movie does really well, they could always do another one. But I think that their tentative plans were, you're right, for this to be like the last one because apparently we're getting Will Turner back and his son. I'm hoping we'll get Keira Knightley. That'd be a good bookend to the series.
Yeah, bring everybody back. Just end it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And if you want to do it again, maybe a reboot.
Yeah. But, with this and then the WannaCry ransomware, which I thought it was funny because the whole reason that happened is just because, like Microsoft made that big report about complaining how the NSA and the government is just stockpiling these exploits instead of getting them into the companies that make the software so that they can patch and fix them because they want to use them as tools to get into other people's computers. Well, that's like harboring weapons of mass destruction, but the problem is in the digital
it's harboring a felon.
Yeah, but the difference here is rather than harboring a missile, if you have a missile that you're harboring just for yourself, for your country's benefit, or to keep it in use just in case or whatever it is, you have a physical entity that is locked in a single location that someone else would have a miraculously difficult time getting to and taking that from you. In the digital era, anything can eventually potentially be superseded, broken into, and copied over in scale. So this seems much more dangerous to harbor these exploits. But then what do? Do you tell the government not to find ways to break into stuff? Because half of the government now seems like they want to pass break encryption and have backdoors in all iPhones.
Well, that's a kind of like McCarthyism type of government, right? Where they want everybody's secrets. And they want
shit.
Yeah, they want portfolios on people. The thing is it the government's responsibility to ensure security? Yeah, it is. Whether that's online or whether that's my person physically. Mm-hmm. When they find these things, though, they do need to disclose them. Them holding on to them for their own means or their own gains is, to me, it's completely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to realize there's people working for the NSA that are brilliant, right? They're super smart.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about
NSA.
Snowden earlier. They they target these people from MIT, from all
Even
these
right
schools,
out of high school.
These high IQ peoples, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right out of high school, yeah. But the thing is, there's going to be people they miss.
Mm-hmm.
People don't live in this country. People that don't have formal educations. There's people smarter than the NSA that are out there.
Right.
When you find something, you should disclose it.
But if
You fix it, do whatever you can to try to stay ahead of them, because you're never going to stay ahead of everyone. There's always going to be somebody that finds something.
I totally agree with
the whole point.
that methodology, but then if they disclose and get rid of all these ways to get into other systems, isn't that kind of what the NSA and these CIA and agencies want, to be able to get into systems from other people, even if it's from other countries? I mean,
Well, maybe it's a question of privacy. Do we need protection now in a digital age against the digital component of the United States? Just like one of the original amendments of the Constitution was that wasn't illegal search and seizure. I'm trying to think of what it was. One where the military could not come into your house and force you to hold them.
right.
Maybe an amendment needs to be made to the Constitution now that's more in electronic form.
Mm-hmm.
That protects us as individuals.
Yeah, this is a hard,
from the same government and those tyrannies that
difficult
affected them back
topic,
in the
because
1800s.
that's so broad strokes. You know what I mean? Like loopholes.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult thing. This is just interesting that we're actually in a time where there's a huge major movie about to come out, and hackers apparently are not only doing this and holding a movie technically for ransom, but they're also doing it so publicly with one of the biggest companies on the planet. So they clearly have such balls and that they know what they're doing. They're not worried about getting caught at all.
Well, who's going to catch them?
I would assume the combined intelligence agencies of other people that are also technically
Disney?
proficient at this level. No, of course not. But, like FBI, because it's from people from another country, right? Of course it's not going to be Disney.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just it. But FBI, CIA, you think any of those organizations actually work together?
Yeah.
They hold information from one another so they can have that ace in the hole, they think, all the time.
Right. Yeah. This is just...
I mean, that's part of the problem with the system.
Yeah, this is an interesting mess.
I mean, it's just like I deal with fraud on a daily basis. Whether that's carding, whether that's account takeovers, fake account creation, whatever it might be, they exist. And it's $1 billion plus a year that these fraudsters are probably taking. Nobody's going after them.
Mm-hmm.
They're in countries where people don't even want to approach them.
Really?
China, Russia, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's beating down their door. You have to become like a well-known fraudster and an internet hackster to have any government even consider going after you.
Really? That's interesting.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully this didn't ruin your enthusiasm to go out and see Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Like I know that you were dying to do immediately. That's probably going to postpone that a little bit.
It has had zero prune impacts on my decision to go see Pirates.
I finally saw Logan, and I got to tell you, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
we could talk about it next week if you want.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll do a delayed secondary reaction to Logan that now finally has been into it. We'll do it for the home release.
Yes.
That's supposed to be coming out
there you
here
go.
too. Cool.